Hey my dear pirates, you are on channel Straw Hat's One Piece Theories, and in today's video we're going to talk about Luffy's last form at the end of One Piece and how this form can have a correlation with Joy Boy and the Giants. Since awakening his Gear 5, Luffy has demonstrated that he can alter not only his surroundings but also himself to the point of becoming a giant with the ability to master lightning. Could it be that this was the form Joy Boy transformed into when he would fight his enemies and that's why they theorized that he is a giant? Or could it be that Joy Boy was a giant and Nika's devil fruit is just replicating the anatomy of its previous users and that's why Luffy can grow giant while also being able to stretch his body? Well, we're going to analyze all this in today's video. So if you want to be a pirate king like me and achieve eternal glory, go ahead and press the like button with all the power of your devil fruit. And if you're new here my dear sailor, already subscribe to the channel and don't forget to activate the notifications bell so you don't miss any new video, okay? Then join this crew that will dominate the entire Grand Line and the New World. Now without further ado, let's get to this epic video. And well my dear pirate, Joy Boy is directly related to the Kozuki family, a clan from Wano country. In the work we discover that the poneglyphs were invented by the Kozukis about 800 years ago, but Joy Boy's promise with the Fishman was about 900 years ago. Joy Boy left a message in a poneglyph on Fishman Island apologizing for the broken promise, and here's the problem with that equation. How is this possible? How could Joy Boy have left a message if poneglyph didn't exist until 100 years later? How could Joy Boy, after a century, remain alive until the invention of poneglyphs? The answer to that question could be, Joy Boy is a giant. It's been a few years now that Joy Boy was actually a giant or some relative of the giants of Elbaf, all because of his longevity, which is a characteristic that Joy Boy apparently has with the giants of that universe. But he has more. There's that giant hat on Mary Geo's. We see that the government preserves a giant straw hat in a cooling chamber. And we know how important the symbology of the straw hat is. It was given from Roger to Shanks and from Shanks to Luffy, representing confidence in the new generation. But I don't believe it's just that. Not after the revelation that Luffy is the user of Nika's fruit that was probably also eaten by Joy Boy. Along with the fact that Joy Boy's lived at least 100 years, a high longevity for any human being, and the existence of the giant straw hat, we can imagine that Joy Boy was from the race of giants, a species with an extremely long lifespan, and that's why he survived until the creation of poneglyph. And after we saw Luffy transform into a giant in his fight against Kaido, I found myself wondering if this wasn't the answer to this dilemma? Well, if we analyze Luffy's devil fruit, we'll find that Zoan types have a mind of their own to the point where the Gorosei wonder if Nika's fruit wasn't running away from them all this time. So, if this is absolutely true, well, maybe my idea that fruits absorb the wills and characteristics of their past users and pass them on to new users makes a lot of sense. If we look at Nika's silhouette, we see that he doesn't look like a giant, so where did that huge hat come from, and how would Joy Boy take Noah's Ark to the surface as the fishmen were promised? Well, he could have used Poseidon's power to do this feat as suggested, but another way that comes to mind is if he was a giant, or else he was a giant with rubber powers that can alter the environment. But since that didn't happen, I believe that Joy Boy hadn't awakened Nika's power at that moment, and that's why he left without fulfilling his promise, and that's why the fruit absorbed Joy Boy's characteristics to pass on to the next user in the future. That is, my dear pirates, Nika's fruit could be learning and evolving over the centuries. There could have been multiple users of this fruit, someone with the ability to change the environment, someone with the ability to stretch their body, someone with the ability of dominating lightning, and even someone like a giant. It would be enough to know how to use his power. And since Luffy has a fertile mind, this fruit is the best choice for him. In fact, I even believe that the fruit chose him because only someone with Luffy's mentality could extract the maximum potential from the fruit of Nika and his predecessors, and so I believe that in the end, Luffy's last form may be a giant with lightning in his hands with the ability to alter everything around him and increase his powers while laughing. In fact, I imagine that's the only way Luffy could extend his powers in a global way if he really wanted to free the entire world. But now I want to know your opinion about everything we commented here today. Do you believe that Nika's Hito Hito no Mi has the ability to absorb the physical attributes of its bearers to pass them on to future users? Is this the definitive answer to Joy Boy being a giant? Will Luffy take on the form of a giant with the ability to master lightning, and then he can alter himself and everything around him on a scale never seen before? But of course, if you made it this far, it's because you like the content, so it doesn't hurt to subscribe to our channel and become one more member of our fleet, my dear sailor. And of course, do not forget to press the like button, that helps a lot in spreading the video and the channel, so help us to become the largest fleet of pirates here on YouTube, okay? A big hug for everyone, and until the next video.